Late night bites with friends? Already hard to beat. That first too hot bite of fries you couldn't wait for, followed by ice cold Pepsi. Now that hits different. Suddenly, the energy kicks back in, the night goes longer, and the laughs don't stop. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
This one goes out to all my ladies, all my multitasking mamas who need energy to show up at work and at home, all my empty nest explorers who need a little gut health support for the journey ahead. AG1 is the daily health drink designed to support whole body health with over 75 essential nutrients and pre- and probiotics, so you can make the most of every day and every decade. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Ouch. This knee is killing me, but I can't stop training. The marathon is in 2 weeks.
Let's get on ZocDoc and find a doctor to take a look at that for you.
Okay.
Here's a review. Dr. Craddock really takes his time.
No, I don't have time.
What about Dr. Charles? His patients say he can help find a quick fix, and he's in network.
Great, now we're talking. Book it.
Booked. 1 mile down, 19 to go.
Bring it on.
You've got options. Download the ZocDoc app today.
Of The Reality Is. As always, it's Noor. And guys, I'm so excited because I was just on Liz Bentley's podcast, Liz Explains, to talk about Next Gen NYC, and we got into so much that I was like, okay, well, I need her to come back to my podcast. So Liz is here. Hi, Liz.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, of course. And you're here because we're going to talk about the final episode of The Valley, the reunion. And we are going to talk about Next Gen. And then we're seeing some news coming out of Atlanta. That's not great. But there is so much to discuss. I did an episode earlier this week talking about the first 2 parts of The Valley. If you haven't heard that yet, you can go over to the feed and it's there. But when I watched this final episode, I was just like, what the fuck are we doing? And then I was like, I need to talk to a person with sense about it, because I will say this, and I know that you feel this way too, because obviously like you covered Teen Mom for so long that I feel like you get this. There is humor to The Valley, right? Like there is something hilarious about The Valley. Like Danny Pellegrino has talked about this. So many people have talked about this. Like the fact that like, you know, Brittany has this like crab boil the night before she goes to get like a tummy tuck is so funny. The fact that like Zach got his head sliced and then he proceeded to do the rest of the vacation with the Vicky Gunvalson post facelifter like bandage around his head is hilarious. There are parts of the show that are so fucking funny. Tom Schwartz's little 007 sad sack of a party was so funny to watch. It's so hilarious. But then there's other parts of it where you just go, the reunion is so dark. It's so dark.
It is. But I will say, out of all of the reunions, this is the darkness that I like. Like, I always want to be arguing about someone being an alcoholic, unfortunately. I love this type of darkness. Like, talking about Danny being an alcoholic. And I will say, though, it's like skin crawling. And by the way, speaking of funny, like, I'm always laughing if Kirsten Doty is like crying about online bullying. That's going to make me laugh every time. Every time I'm going to laugh at that because there's nobody who's ever had less self-awareness than Kristen Doty, and that will never not entertain me. Like,
that's right. That's right. Okay.
Always be laughing.
Before we get into it, this is your first time on my podcast, and I do have to ask,
Mhm.
because I ask this every single time there's somebody new. Who is your problematic reality TV favorite?
I mean, my biggest one ever was always Janelle Evans, like, speaking of Teen Mom.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm,
I use the word favorite as in the person that I like to consume the content of the most, the person that I find the most fascinating. Um,
mhm.
that that, like, fell out. Right now, it's probably I don't maybe a housewife. I would have to actually, you know who it is that this makes everyone so mad? I love Robin Dixon. Everyone like, I mean, people are like, "What are you talking about?" And I think Robin's great. I think she's really great. I think she was great on Traders.
Listen, Robin is one of those people that I think that unfortunately on Housewives, she tends to shut down until suddenly something like really pisses her off and then she gets activated and then she gets so mad. The thing that I like that drives me crazy about Robin or when she was on was that she would just get to the reunion and just be like, I don't know. I'm like, Robin, you're so defeated. Like, don't be defeated, Robin. And also, like, she's so stunning. Like, she's so gorgeous. Like,
She's
you know,
funny, and
she has
I love someone who makes me laugh.
yes, she's really funny. I just think that she has stopped being able to poke fun of herself, and I think because she's
Mm.
actually sad, she's like, "I can't make fun of myself, guys, because I will kill myself." Like, I have really low self-esteem. I can't do that, but I do think a good housewife has to be able to make fun of herself. So, I that's where she loses it for me, but I love that pick. I think Robin Dixon is a great pick, and I agree. She was amazing on Traders. She said that after Traders, people when she was on Traders, people were like, "Are you like an agent? Are you like a CIA? Are you do you work for the FBI?" Like they thought she was a lawyer.
No,
She's like,
she's
"No,
married to an
I'm Juan
athlete.
Dixon's wife."
She said, "I'm a competitor. I take gaming seriously." Okay? Do you know what it's like to be married to a fucking coach? Like, I mean, are they married? But you know what I mean by that, like
You know, yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going on over there?
but no, she's an athlete. She understands.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really, really good answer. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the Valley today. We're gonna talk about Next Gen NYC. Let's go ahead and talk about. Let's jump into the Valley. So this is the third part of the Valley reunion. We picked up on it where it was left off last week with like, what happened at Jasmine's wedding, guys? What happened? And Jesse was like, nothing happened. What are you guys talking about? But essentially, what we find out is at Jasmine's wedding, Nia went around and told everybody, don't tell my husband that there is an after party because then he's going to come and hang out with you. And we're
Excuse
supposed to have
me?
a night in.
Excuse me? I didn't say that. I said don't encourage it. The words, they're important.
The perfect lunch combo. That first bite of your favorite sub, followed by ice cold Pepsi. Add a couple of friends, and now that's next level. Suddenly, the laughs get louder, the stories keep flowing, and the food tastes better. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
Amazon Health AI presents Painful Thoughts.
Why did I search the internet for answers to my cold sore problem? Now I'm stuck down a rabbit hole filled with images of alarmingly graphic sores in various stages of ooze. I can clear my search history, but I can never unsee that.
Don't go down the rabbit hole. Amazon Health AI gets you the right care, fast. Healthcare just got less painful.
Fox News is streaming live on Fox One, bringing you the stories you won't hear anywhere else. Live coverage, sharp analysis, real perspective. Stream now.
Teens share everything. That may include the bacteria that can cause meningococcal disease known as meningitis. Even if your teen's been vaccinated in the past, they could still be missing meningitis vaccinations. Ask your teen's doctor or visit meningitis.com today. Sponsored by GSK.
This one goes out to all my ladies, all my multitasking mamas who need energy to show up at work and at home, all my empty nest explorers who need a little gut health support for the journey ahead. AG1 is the daily health drink designed to support whole body health with over 75 essential nutrients and pre- and probiotics, so you can make the most of every day and every decade. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
I mean, we just watched an Al-Anon
God.
meeting. Like, for your audience, I have been in recovery for a very long time, and for, like, the first 5 years of my recovery, I was very into AA, okay? I am, like, a big book scholar. I know all about Al-Anon. There's never been a more textbook example of a codependent person who should seek out Al-Anon, and specifically Nia, because she loves God. Like, it's so right for her. Watching her lie about this, oh my God. It was almost painful for me. The way it is crazy the way that she does this. And it's like, it's not crazy. Tons of people do this, right? Like, this is not impossible, but like, she is straight up lying. And also, Danny came back from lunch more aggressive and slurring more. And I don't know if I'm the only one who noticed that.
You were not the only one that noticed that. I think that there is it's so bad that Nia has okay, here's my assessment of them. I think first of all, Danny did not want to be on the Valley. I think Nia really, really wanted to be on the Valley. Did you read Yesteryear?
Yes.
Did you read the book Yesteryear? Okay.
Yes.
So obviously I read Yesteryear, and immediately, like a quarter of the way into Yesteryear, guys, spoiler alert if you really want to read that book, but it's really not that. It's not that big of a spoiler. Essentially, it's about a trad wife influencer. And we find out almost immediately in the book that the trad wife influencer's husband is a fucking imbecile. And when I was reading this book, I was like, oh, Caleb is Danny Bucco. That's what he is.
Okay. Caleb being Danny Bucco is the most favorable analysis. I like the book, but like that, it makes the book, I actually made me like the book better. Like, that is such a perfect critique. However, I will say my only like response to that is like, Danny wants to be an actor. And Danny loves attention. And I'm not 100% sure. I also think like Danny needs the check. Like, I think that they need the money. So I don't know. I'm not 100,000% positive, but it is very clear to me that for some reason, the two of them feel that they need to do this show, and it's ruining their marriage. And I famously said in season 1 at the end, if these two want to stay together, they need to leave reality TV. Because guess what? When your husband has a drinking problem, you know how you don't fix that by having your friends confront you and go, I think your husband has a drinking problem. And then you have to talk about it on television. That's not how you solve that. That's simply not, but that's how you have to do it if you're on reality television. And if Nia and Danny had any sense, they would not have come back after season 1. And what does Nia think she's doing when she's lying like that? Like, does she think that we believe her?
I think that she thinks that she can twist it around enough to be like, to bring in her faith and bring in her pageantry and bring in her background story. Like, she often, what I've noticed about her is that when she's cornered, she does often talk about the way that she grew up. Like, in the season, there was a scene after the whole thing in Mexico where she was a linebacker in a prairie dress. She meets up with Lala, and she's like, Lala, I really want you to know, like, I behave the way I do because of like how I grew up. And, I was homeless and I lived in a car and all that stuff. And I remember in that moment thinking, what the fuck does this have to do with how you behaved in Mexico, protecting your drunk husband? And Lala, I think, also was probably thinking that. But Lala was like, sure, bitch, I'll try to be your fucking friend. Like, who cares, But
I think where Nia gets it wrong every
Nia.
time.
Yeah.
I think where she gets it wrong every time is that like, that is reasonable that your life looks like this because of your childhood, but you don't seem to connect it to Danny. Like, it doesn't seem like she is accepting, understanding, willing to talk about. I'm not 100% sure, but it just doesn't seem like she understands that, like, when she's saying like, well, I had this hard time, it would make a lot more sense where she's like, and so like, honestly, Danny's chaos, like, I have to admit, like, and if she went to Al-Anon, she would learn this, that like, I have to admit Danny's chaos, like, it can be like extra triggering for me. And then like, you know what I mean? There is a way that she can do that, but all she does is just bring it up. And then it's like, so what are you doing? What are you doing to help? You're going to see your pastor.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about, I'm feeling very heightened. Like, okay, you're feeling very heightened. So what are you going to do to stop being heightened? You're on this television show.
Yeah. Going to the point of like, why are they on this show? One, they have 4 kids. Two, I don't know how much money a voiceover for like zombie sounds makes. Like, I don't know how much money you can make from that. But also, lest we forget, when we first met them in season 1 and 2, they were in that little apartment where like you would enter and it was just like lined up. Like they had strollers parked out in their hallway because there was not enough space inside of their apartment for anything. And like I just remember being like, "Oh, they're poor for like LA. Like they're not doing well. They were not doing well financially. So then at them even getting this house in Santa Clarita an hour and a half away, it was also because that's what they could afford. They can't afford to live in the valley. It's too expensive for them. So like then they moved to to Santa Clarita. And I think they still need to continue to be on the show, despite Danny thinking like I don't think Danny really wants her to be on it at this point. I think Danny liked season 1 and 2. And I think this season he was like, no, we're not going. We're going to move an hour and a half away where it's impossible for you to meet up with these people. This poor woman is lugging a crying baby in an hour and a half in LA traffic to go and film at like a sticky cafe with Lala. Like it's very sad. The whole thing is so deeply sad. And it would make me feel so sad for her if she gave me any inkling that she's like, guys, no, I'm like literally trying to collect my coins so that I can leave this marriage. But she's not ever going to do that. I don't think that Nia is going to get to that. She's been on Fox News. She is doing the pastor's wife thing.
And you know how I know this? Because they actually probably were not struggling with money when they had 1 child. And they did not need to get pregnant 4 months later. And like, yeah, they weren't planning on twins, of course, and that's like a shock for anyone, right? But like, imagine a world in which they had waited 3 years to have another baby, like many people do, because they couldn't fucking afford to have 5 people in that apartment. Like, and she is the one that is actively choosing this each time. With the 4th baby, I felt I was almost on Danny's side with all of that because she was like truly acting like the housing thing wasn't real. She was walking around like that wasn't a real issue. And she knew they could only afford Santa Clarita and she knew she wanted to be pregnant immediately. So what the fuck was her solution? And like now everybody's like, and he dragged her to Santa Clarita. And I'm like, she wanted to have another, but what were they supposed to do? They could not physically be in that apartment. And she and Danny were actively making a choice to bring an 8th person into the home. Of course you have to move to
That's
Santa
true.
Clarita.
Where were they
Like,
going to put that baby?
What are we talking about, Nia? Like Nia lives in a fantasy world. And like I was like, I hate Danny. And I was kind of on his side with all of that because it's like, yeah, we can have another baby. We can knock this out. I hear her reasons for it, but it's also like nobody made you have 4 kids in 3 years. Nobody made you do that. And that's what Jasmine was trying to say, right? Where it's like, you guys are acting like you've been forced into this position against your will when you've been making active choice after active choice. But Danny's an alcoholic, okay? And Danny's drinking a lot more than just on camera, okay? Danny's an alcoholic who I think is probably drinking a lot. And like, what Nia is trying to sell us is such bullshit. It's such bullshit. And it's coming across like apart at the seams. You could see hate in her eyes at certain points when Lala was like trying to like very fairly be like, yes, if what I saw on television is an accurate representation of your marriage, I do not think that is a good marriage to be in. And I want you to have a husband that respects you, which by the way, I don't know if this was on the regular version. I watched the uncut one and Luke said, fuck her when Lala said that. So fuck you, Luke.
I did. First
you.
of all, when it comes to reunions, I only watch the uncut on Peacock because
Why is
I first of all
not-
they curse so much during reunions.
Why is everything not just uncut on Peacock? Why do we have every episode should be uncut on Peacock? Like, why are we doing this? This American Life figured that out like 20 years ago at this point. Like, on streaming, you could curse.
But that, so Lala had said on Watch What Happens Live that she wants Nia to leave the marriage. She's like, based on what I'm seeing, I want better for Nia. And of course, that side of the couch is like, oh, gasp, divorce. How could you say that? Splitting a family apart. Oh my God.
She wants to break up a family.
Oh my
You're so
God.
evil. You're wishing for that.
And that's what Yeah, and then she was like, "I didn't say I wished for it." And Kristen's like, "You said you hope for it." And I'm like, "Kristen, shut the fuck up. Kristen, I'll go with you in a minute." But the fact that she sat there and Luke was like, "Fuck her, fuck Lala." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, Luke?"
It was
But I
aggressive.
realized, like, even the way Nia was talking about it, Nia was like, that you would wish for like a husband and a mother and children to be apart. Like,
Because
that's
she has to detach
really
herself.
messed up, Lala.
Because she cannot personalize it because she knows Lala's telling the fucking truth. Like, she knows that. She is aware of
Yes.
that. She is
Yes.
spinning the fuck out. It's so when I see people defend them and they're like, how dare Lala come at them? She's weaponizing the program. I feel like actually Lala's been incredibly restrained when it comes to Danny and judging him with drinking,
Yeah.
like incredibly restrained.
Yep.
And she's tried quite hard not to be like, you need to go to a fucking meeting, you fucking loser. Like, you're a fucking drunk loser. I'm
Yeah.
about to call someone to 12th step you, you fucking loser. Like, she could be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I have 7 years of sobriety,
And
you
I wish she
fucking
would.
loser. I wish she would too. I mean, that's not the principles of AA. But like okay. I actually want to like commend Lala that she's like genuinely trying to live in the principles of the steps when talking to Danny. She's
Mhm.
trying so hard not to judge him. She's trying so hard not to say you need to go to AA. She's trying so hard not to say you're an alcoholic. She's saying, I identify with this behavior. This is behavior that I hear about
Mhm.
very often. You are doing a recognizable pattern of behavior that reminds me of this. Like, that's very in line, like, with what a respectable way, at least like in the eyes of the 12 steps, right? Like, she's really, I think she must like,
Sure.
I think she's probably quite involved in AA based on the way that she talks, or at least was at one
Yeah.
point. And like for
Yeah.
Danny, the rage that he got at that's where I was like, "Oh, he's really drunk." When he's like, "You had called me an alcoholic."
Mhm.
Like, I there's a bit from the very beginning of the Big Book where it talks about, like, men and women drink primarily because they like the effect produced by alcohol, sensation so elusive, like, once you have it,
Mhm.
you can no longer tell the truth from the fiction, and the end of that is drinks which you see others take with impunity. So basically, it's like alcoholics just get so fucking mad that other people can drink because they want to be able to feel that too. Like, it upsets them that other people can drink and
Wow.
that they cannot. And they don't understand why they are drinking the same way and their behavior is this way, right? Like, that it doesn't make sense. Here, I'm going to read it. I actually pulled it up earlier. Let me read the exact thing, which is men and women drink essentially because they like the effect produced by alcohol. The sensation is so elusive that while they admit it is injurious, they cannot, after a time, differentiate the true from the false. To them, their alcoholic life seems the only normal one. They're restless, irritable, and discontented unless they can once again experience a sense of ease and comfort which comes at once by taking a few drinks, drinks which they see others taking with impunity. Like, that's Danny.
Mm.
That
And
is what we watched
that's
on that
exactly what
stage.
Danny and Nia. No, and also that is what they have been saying for the entire time, right?
The
Anytime
whole
anybody
season.
brings up anybody drinking, Nia says everybody drinks. Janet drinks. Michelle drinks. Brittany drinks. Zach is a
They said
drunk. They're all drinking. Are we going to talk about
Jason's
someone?
never been blackout. Jason's ever been blackout. Janet's like, if Jason blacked out and touched someone, he would never drink again. What are you guys like? Imagine
Yeah.
if Danny and Nia had started the reunion by saying Danny hasn't had a drink in 42 days. Nobody would have been able
Yeah.
to say shit. Nobody would have been able to say shit. But guess what?
Yeah.
They couldn't say that because 5 days before, he was blacked out in front of the whole group with their eyes. So they were ramped up. The
Yeah.
fact that he would get blackout drunk 5 days before the reunion that he knew would be about his drinking means he's an alcoholic. Like, I don't like
Yeah.
it.
Thank you.
It is
Thank
there. It
you.
is every single thing. And Lala not directly saying you are an alcoholic the way that I'm saying it is being very generous to him. And like it shows in my opinion that
Yep.
she cares, that he like actually hears. She's trying to make him hear. I don't care about that. The fact that he got blackout drunk 5 days before discussing his drinking issue.
Mhm.
If you knew
Mhm.
someone in your life
Mhm.
who did that, a 40-year-old man with 4 children, you would be like, What the fuck?
Mhm.
Would be if your
Mhm,
friend told
mhm.
you
And
her husband did
unfortunately
that, you
yeah,
would be
I would say,
raging.
never talk to him again, leave immediately. I would yeah, that's the thing, like and here's the thing, I will say, I unfortunately do know people who do stuff like this. They are not my friend anymore. Like I don't and
Mhm.
that's not like it's not for not trying, right? Like there are people in my life that have struggled with substance abuse and they have figured it out and they've gotten past it and they're like on the other side of it right now, right? And there is a great amount of accountability and all of that stuff that you have to come with that comes with it. I think when Lala talks to Danny and tries to be like, no, I'm an alcoholic and I'm okay with using the term. I'm an alcoholic. And I'm not saying that you're an alcoholic, but I'm saying that what I see in you is like, I understand it in a different way. And I think it's so hard for people like Danny and Nia that are so obsessed with the optics of their lifestyle, of what people think of
Mhm.
them, of how they're perceived, that they could not get past the idea of somebody labeling them as something outside of good Christian husband wife. That is the
Mhm.
only thing they want to be. They want to be good Christian husband wife in the eyes of God. Like that's who they are. Do you know about the allegations against Danny's dad?
So, is it his dad covered something up, right? Like, they're not he
Yes.
didn't sexually assault someone, right? Like, he covered something up at the church?
No.
Okay.
His dad was in church leadership for a long time and he himself along with other people, but he was sort of championing a cover up of multiple people coming out and talking about young girls being sexually abused within that church and then him covering it up over and over again. And I was like, this is the world that Danny comes from, right? And I will say, like, for Nia, yes, Nia grew up really poor and she lived in a car for a little while and she was homeless and all that stuff, right? And she is a Hispanic woman in the world, right? She's Mexican. And so there is all these things that happen for her that put her in a position where there's very few ways that she can level up. But Nia, in my mind, is like tapping into the model minority myth because she's broken into white spaces by being a Christian woman, by being a pageant girl. She has broken into those spaces. So once you break into a space like that as a marginalized person, the last thing you want to do is make more noise because you want to stand in the background as much as possible. If you make noise, they're going to kick you out because because deep down inside, you know that you don't belong here. You know that you're just barely getting by sneaking into here and staying here as long as you keep your mouth shut. And I think Nia
Mhm.
is very, very aware of that. And that is why Nia is holding on so desperately to this idea of I'm going to be a good Christian wife and I'm going to keep having children for this man and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And like, my marriage needs to work out with Danny. And how dare you say that there should be better for me because that is so heartbreaking to my children that this man, my husband would be without a wife. Like she is so hell-bent on making this mirage of an existence work for her because the only other thing she knows when she leaves outside of this world is a very sad existence. And I think
Mhm.
it's heartbreaking, but then again, it's heartbreaking for a person who actually wants better for themselves. And ultimately, in Nia's mind, this is it. She has peaked. She can't get better
I'm
than this.
I mean, think about the fact that, like, Danny cheated on her when he groped Melissa and Jasmine. Like,
Oh
Danny
my God.
put
Okay.
his hand
Yes. Thank
near
you.
her
Thank you.
vagina. Like, he grabbed her
Mhm.
inner thigh. That is cheating in most relationships, I would say. Like, in most monogamous
Mhm.
relationships, inner thigh is
Mhm.
off limits. Just
Mhm.
in general, that's, like, an off limits area, right? But, especially in a Christian
Hot
marriage,
take.
like like he's
No, I think
cheated. That's cheating. What he
Christian
did
men, no,
cheated.
no.
Well,
No, Liz,
we know
please.
they do,
Christian men
but
are allowed to
Nia,
touch whoever they want.
it's like he actively cheated on her, and we're acting like the only issue was like
Yeah.
that he did something to Jasmine and Melissa, but he also violated his marriage doing this. And it's like nobody,
Yeah.
like Nia
Mhm.
can't even acknowledge that. It's crazy.
Mhm. Yeah. It is crazy, and I think that because in Nia's mind, I wonder if it's one of those things where in Nia's mind, when Danny's drinking, he's not himself. That's not really who Danny is. Danny, because in her mind also, Danny is, when he's sober, he's a great father. He's always
Well, he's
swaddling the
Daniel.
babies. He's changing diaper. Of course, he's Daniel. So when he's sober, he's Daniel. Daniel's a very good father. He's very dedicated. She never even has to do any diaper changes because he always does the
Never.
diaper change. Well, congratulations. Oh my God. Not a diaper change. Wow. And so he does all the right things. And in her mind, when he is drinking, that is not who he is. I think that that's what she thinks is like, when Daniel
think you're right.
drinks, that's not who he is.
I think you're very,
So-
very right about that. And I also think it's one of those things that's like, if she admits it, she has to leave. She can't admit it because once you admit it, then you got to go. In the height of my crazy years, I had a crazy boyfriend, and the amount of denial I could walk around with, because I knew if I was like, well, yeah, obviously he stole $200 from me, we couldn't be together. Like, you can't have a husband that cheats on you. You can't have a husband that's a fall down drunk. Like, you can't do that. So once you admit it, there has to be change. And Daniel's not changing, baby. Daniel's not ready to stop drinking. He's making that pretty clear. And so I think she feels like, or I don't think she consciously feels this way, but I think the motivation is, I have to shut down all of this because I have absolutely zero ability to change it. But I cannot admit that this is going on because I do not want to change it. Like, I don't want to have to do my part of changing it because her part is leaving. That's, unless Daniel stops drinking, she has to leave that man. That is the only option, because we know that he is a fall down drunk that cheats on her and hurts people when he's drunk. And like,
but you're not allowed to talk about that. You can't. Okay, so what I thought was interesting is this episode they talked to Janet about her experience, about what she went through. By the way, shout out to Janet and Jason. They must have, between the 3 episodes, said about 4 lines. And I was like, they really won the reunion because they said very little. Janet, every single time they cut to Nia and Danny and asked them a question, they would just cut to Janet and she would just like do a deep sigh and look at Jason like, are you fucking hearing this right now? And I just felt like they did so good. But they talked to Janet about her experience, about what she went through and why Danny is such a trigger to her. And this I thought was interesting because Nia pretended to be receptive of it. But when you really think about it, Nia and Janet's whole issue started because after they went to like wherever they went, where Danny shut the door behind Janet in that closet, whatever, where he got super drunk, where everybody was talking about Danny's not really taking a nap. He's an alcoholic and he had to go lay down. Nia put him down to sleep because he's being insane. That is why he's a drunk, like whatever. That trip, when they came back from it, I think it was, when they came back from that trip, Nia, hold on, I just like my brain completely blanked out. Janet, all the girls go to Nia's place or go somewhere. They're at maybe Nia's place or someone's place and they're asking Nia like how she's doing, whatever. And this was after the Jasmine thing. So Jasmine had brought up that when Danny got drunk, he groped Melissa. And I don't know if he groped Melissa and Jasmine, but he groped them. And they went and they sit and talk to them. And that's when Janet says, hey, like, just so you know, I had an ex with addiction issues. And
Nia was so mad.
It's when she brings that up, Nia's like, well, that's not what I fucking said, Janet. That's not what I said. And Janet was like, whoa, I was just trying to empathize. Like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying like that is all I was trying to do. And from that point forward, Nia decided that Janet is enemy number 1. Yep. Janet is not a person that we should be filming with. Janet is painting me and my husband in a negative light. Janet is the problem. And the reason why Nia continues to film with somebody like Kristen or continues to film with somebody like Brittany is because Kristen and Brittany are already known bad people. So she's like, it's fine. I can continue to film with them. But Janet has a point, and I'm not going to be able to argue this. So instead, I will just get really, really mad every time Janet is around. And I will make it my like agenda to constantly fight with Janet. And I think that was like the thing that like really set her off. So I thought it was so interesting that now at the reunion, when Janet is again explaining her experience very calmly, very nicely, Nia was like, I'm so sorry that you experienced that. That's it. And it was like, okay, so you know now. You know that you look like an asshole before. You know that you are in the wrong in this, no matter what. Kristen says, I didn't know that Janet had gone through all that. What did you think about Kristen's performance in this last bit of the reunion?
The perfect lunch combo. That first bite of your favorite sub, followed by ice-cold Pepsi. Add a couple of friends, and now that's next level. Suddenly, the laughs get louder, the stories keep flowing, and the food tastes better. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
Teens share everything. That may include the bacteria that can cause meningococcal disease known as meningitis. Even if your teen's been vaccinated in the past, they could still be missing meningitis vaccinations. Ask your teen's doctor or visit meningitis.com today. Sponsored by GSK.
At ZocDoc, we know being a healthy adult is like living in a video game. Every day has side quests, taxes, laundry, birthdays. And just when you're leveling up, you have to book a doctor. The insurance portal crashes. They put you on hold. Your doctor doesn't take your plan. Game over. We see you. So we made booking a doctor easy. Download ZocDoc. Search by specialty, insurance, and availability. Book instantly. No cheat codes required. Find a doctor you love with ZocDoc.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
I see you.
Avatar: Fire and Ash is now streaming on Disney+. It's the film critics are calling the best Avatar yet.
Go, 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 go!
A true epic and completely jaw-dropping.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
Return to Pandora on Disney+.
It will be an adventure for the whole fam.
And watch the Oscar-winning phenomenon at home.
This is sick!
Avatar: Fire and Ash, now streaming on Disney+. Rated PG-13.
I thought this was not great. I did think her apology to Jasmine felt like sincere, and Jasmine seemed to like appreciate the apology.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
the rest of this time, Kristen she cannot get out of her own way. Well, and in the same way that like she doesn't want to admit that Nia and Danny are bad, because then she needs to admit that her and Luke are bad, because for whatever reason
That Luke
in
is bad.
Kristen's
Mhm.
mind, they're all together, I guess. Like it's so well, first of all, Kristen's just in love with Nia, and like this is always what Kristen does.
Yes.
She used to be with Brittany and Jax. Now she's Danny and Nia's third. Like Kristen loves to be a third in a toxic
Yep.
marriage and talk about how much she loves them and wants them to be
Yep.
together. How about, I think this was the last episode, but the Christmas thing when Kristen was like, I would never be allowed to talk to Jax. I'm like, what are you talking about? You were friends with Jax forever, including after the breakup. And then Brittany even says, yeah, but you were still being nice to him. And Kristen goes, you know what I was doing? I'm like, the same thing Janet was. What are you talking about, Kristen? Like, what?
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
everything Kristen does is
She hates
it doesn't
Janet.
make any
It's
sense.
boring.
But that's all it is. She hates Janet. It's boring. She hates the fact that Janet's on the show. I think that she hates the fact that Janet originally started on the show as Sheena's assistant. She hates the fact that Janet is a fan who ended up becoming a reality TV person.
Which, by the way,
she has
hold
every
on.
reason why
That's
she doesn't
stupid.
like Janet.
I want to
Yeah.
interrupt you there. That's crazy
Yeah,
that
it is very
Kristen has
stupid.
it is crazy that Kristen has the fucking nerve to mention that. All of their friends are fans. All of them. All of the people that they hang out with. You and I could fly to LA right now and hang out in West Hollywood long enough, and we would see somebody that we know that could introduce us to them. Like, they are so accessible.
Yes.
Ariana's very best friend Logan
Yes.
was a fan. Like I all of their friends
Yep.
started as fans. Brittany was a fan. Zach was
Yep.
a fan. Like when she
Yep.
brings that up, it drives me insane, because I'm like, that's just what the show is. Shut up. Who cares? Who cares if she was a fan and became friends with you? That's what all of you did. Like, that's what all of the people you know did. I don't get. I just that drives
Yeah,
me
you
nuts.
think Jesse Lawley just wanted to Yeah, you think Jesse Lawley just wanted to be your friend? No. He watched the show and said, "I want to be on the show that's linked to Scandival, the biggest thing that happened in reality TV in 2023." Get a
Exactly.
fucking grip, Kristen.
Exactly.
Kristen admits throughout this episode multiple times that she just like says things and she doesn't know why she says them. She's like, yeah, I don't know why I said the thing I said about Brittany and Zach drinking. I felt really bad about it. And she's like sobbing. She's like crying. She's like, I can't believe I did that. I'm really sad about it. I can't believe that. Well, it like gutted me. I cried about it and I called them immediately and I apologized. So she says that. And then later on, they're like, well, you said the thing about Nia being the person who controls stuff at the end of like the finale party. First, you admitted that Nia was the one that is sensitive or like eggs Zach on. And then when Brittany walked into the room, you said, no, it wasn't me who said it. It was Brittany who said it. But you literally just lied like a second later. And Kristen's like, ha ha ha. Yeah, I know I did that. I don't know why I do that. It's like,
At least Andy, by the way, was like, okay, moving on. And Brittany's like, hold on. Like, that was crazy, Kristen. Like,
and then when she
I
talks
felt for Brittany.
Yeah.
I felt for her. I feel like Zach and Kristen are
You
being
know-
very unfair to Brittany.
They are being very unfair to Brittany. I think Brittany is a neutral enough person who doesn't really have an opinion about things that people automatically go to her and they just like talk shit about other people to Brittany. And then she's like, ha ha ha. Yeah. That's
Yep,
agree.
and
Yeah,
then she
that's probably
tells.
what happened. You're right. Yeah. You know how they are, whatever. Or if she doesn't tell, then somebody else is like, no, I was literally at Brittany's house and she was agreeing with me. And Brittany's like, well, I didn't really agree with you. I was just there. I was just saying I understand. Like, that's the way it is with Brittany. And so when Jessie Lawley's like, Brittany's the one who's always agreeing and she's always egging people on, I'm like, I think Brittany doesn't really process what's happening. I think that Brittany is just like,
No.
I just want to be friends with everybody. I just want to be friends
She's
with everyone.
dumb.
If
Let
you want
her
to come
be
over and talk
dumb.
shit, she's dumb. If you want to come over and talk shit about a person, by all means, go ahead. She gave like $10,000 to that guy, Brandon. Like, guys, Brittany is not smart enough to be manipulating anything here.
Wait,
Okay.
I'm proud of Brittany for only giving him $10,000 and getting out within a couple of months. Like, I feel like she's made real progress. Look at what
I
she
cannot believe that she was
said.
like, this is so crazy. She was like, yeah, I asked him to come over and take care of me after my surgery. And then he said he had to take a couple of days off of work. So then he asked me if I could pay him for the days off that he was taking. I was like, oh my God, Brittany.
Yeah, my picker's bad. Yeah, it is.
That's just, I'm an idiot. Like, that's what it is. And so that's why when they're like, Brittany's the real evil one. She's the one who's pulling all the strings. I'm like, I don't think that Brittany knows that there's strings. I think that Brittany's like, oh, a wind chime. And she just like touches it. And they're like, no, Brittany, those are the strings that you're supposed to be pulling. She's like, yeah, okay, date night. Like, that's Brittany. So
I completely agree.
And by the way, Kristen and Zach know that about her. And that is why they continue to talk shit with her, because she is a person they can blame it on. They can say, oh, actually it was Brittany that was doing it. It wasn't us. It was her.
Well, and also
she's like,
they
it?
love to talk shit with her, and they know that she does the same exact thing for them. And actually, it's funny that Zach says that he feels like he's standing up for himself more, because I actually feel like Brittany's standing up for herself more. And I think actually what we're seeing is the reason that Brittany has always been so neutral is because she has to deal with Jax. Like, she can't, there was no like brain space, right? For her to like be like doing all of this with the friends. I just think that like that wasn't there. And I do think now in a post Jax world, we are seeing her push back more on Zach and Kristen and Nia in a way that she wouldn't have before. It would have been a lot more behind the back and a lot more off camera. And this season, she's straight up being like, you're lying, this is unfair. And I think she's that's good. And I don't think it's like growth. I think it's just a reflection of like not 24/7 being abused by Jax and only being abused by him like 25 maybe now. Unfortunately for her.
Unfortunately, yeah, yeah. Tom Schwartz was there at the reunion, it turns out.
Supposedly. I
What do you
did
think
like
about
when
Lacey?
Kristen called him
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Okay.
go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say, I did like when Kristen was like, Tom, you meant it when you said it. Like, don't pretend like you didn't mean it. But Lacey,
Yeah.
I like to watch Lacey. I have fun watching
Mhm.
Lacey. I think she's good on this show. However, I don't trust her because she's either dating Jesse Lally for real or willing to date Jesse Lally to be on TV, and either of those things are untrustworthy. I also think she's too involved with the Isabella of it all. She's really like mentioning Isabella a lot. I I like Michelle. I'm a big Michelle fan.
Me
She's
too.
another dummy, unfortunately.
She is.
I can't tell if she's lying or being stupid sometimes. I don't think she's telling the truth with Lacey 100%, but I do
Uh-huh.
think that Lacey takes advantage of Michelle being dumb and like
Mhm.
pushes and pushes. And I don't know. I think that what we're seeing is that I don't want Michelle to leave the show, but in a way, I'm kind of like, it's never gonna be really possible to have Jesse and Michelle on this show. I actually think we spent way too much time on them at the reunion because I don't
Mhm.
actually care about what they're fighting about because it's like they're just gonna be fighting for the rest of their lives, essentially. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just divorce shit. Like this isn't like I don't know, it's not interesting like drama. It's like just their like sad divorced life. Like
Yeah, yeah, I don't care about the goings on of their divorce agreements, like, that seems very boring to
except
me.
the
I did
money.
Yeah. Well, the money stuff, I'm just like, "Oh, right, the money is that you're not getting any, and also you need to pay off his
Mm.
debts. That's the money." Like, it's because he sucks, right? I think you
Mhm.
have a really good point about, like, Michelle. I feel so bad for her because I feel like she doesn't have the words to explain what is going on. And I think that I feel for her a lot because people really talk a lot about like how she speaks, but
Mhm.
I feel like I have a lot of empathy for her because she is like a double, not English as a first language speaker. Like she grew up in a house with Farsi and Spanish, and like that was her parents were both immigrants. Like I
Mhm.
feel a lot for her, and I don't like even when Andy last, I think it was episode 2 or 1 of the reunion, he was like making joke about how she says threatening, and you could tell she was like, "It's not funny." Like, I don't
Yeah.
think that that's funny. But I feel bad for her because you're absolutely right. I think that Jessie is an actual bad person, and she's like, it's so obvious that he's a bad person, but she doesn't have the words or like the intelligence. Now, I don't want to say intelligence because she seems like a smart enough person, but I don't think that she has the confidence to
Mm.
go up to somebody like Jessie. And the best thing for her to do is what, Janet should have done with Danny at that Halloween party. Just let him be because he will make himself look stupid on his
Yeah.
own. The more you fight with somebody like Jesse, the more you lose. And I think it's unfortunate because Jesse has somebody like Lacey on his side who, even when he's wrong, is going to go up for him and say, well, here's a smarter way to say what you're trying to say. And now you can use my
Mhm.
smart words to fight Michelle. And Michelle then ends up looking like a dummy, which is very sad. Like Michelle, I always go to this. Michelle was like 23 or 24 when she met Jesse, and he like actively pursued
Hold
her.
on. How old is Michelle now?
She's in her 30s.
Like her early 30s?
Yeah, I think so. Hold on, let me see. She's young. Michelle, yeah, because Jesse's like 40 something, and I think that there is like a age difference there. I think she and Jesse are like 8 or 9 years apart or something.
Oh.
She's
Oh.
30. She's 37. But they were
Okay.
together. Okay, but they were together for 12 years. So she was
Oh.
25.
They
But she
were
was 20.
12 years? I thought they were
Yeah.
together for way less time. Whoa,
Yeah,
okay.
they were together for a really long time, and then they were together for a long time, but I think they've been separated now for like 3 years. So let's say that she was like 23 or 24 when she met him,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
he worked with her and he pursued her and he made her like his little doll, and then they end up getting married. COVID immediately happens. She has a baby and she's in isolation, and this guy makes no money and he's borrowing from a PPP loan, and it's bad. It's bad all around. And then now he gets to come on this show and be like, I got married in Capri and these are my designer shoes. And everybody's like falling for it. Like these idiots in the Valley, the Zachs, and I mean, bless you, Jasmine, but Jasmine and Zach and all these people are like, oh yeah, Jesse's a really nice guy. He's like so cool. And we talk all the time and everything is fine. Like, no, Jesse Lally also touched Kristen's nipple on the very first season of the show.
And it's so funny because like she's not wrong. Lacey has to be paying for stuff because she knows Jesse doesn't have any money. And like I get why she feels so frustrated, but she needs to learn to disengage from them.
Yes.
Because Jesse will not. He will never disengage from her. He won't do it. Also, I think that makes Lacey look pathetic. Like, I'm sorry, you are a fucking loser to sit next to a man arguing with his ex-wife that like you don't share kids with. You know what I mean? Like, look, there are exceptions to every rule. I get it. But in general, if you are watching your serious boyfriend bickering with his ex-wife all of the time, you're a loser if you're there for that all of the time. It's like James and Allie when he was like going after Raquel. Like, it's loser behavior to sit there as your boyfriend, your partner is like clearly still hung up on his ex.
I think it's so sad, and it's just you're absolutely right. The two reasons why Lacey might be with Jesse are both bad reasons. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Any other final thoughts about the Valley before we go over to Next Gen?
I'm curious what they do next season. Like Nia and Danny are not going to let this go, and Danny's not going to stop drinking. And I'm not saying like they shouldn't come back. I don't feel that strongly about it. But if they are not going to come on that show and be like, Danny is an alcoholic, we're forgiving Janet and we're moving forward, I don't know where we go. And I just want to make like, they're so obsessed with words and labels because they can't like talk about the actual actions. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate that Janet and Jason will not lay off that. And where every single time Danny and Nia go, you need to apologize, they go, we will not apologize for the behavior because what we said is what you did. And I appreciate that. Like, they will not get off of that. I also like that Jason was like, I'm not going to comment on his drinking. I tried to do that before. He was mad at me, so I'm not going to do that. And I also really liked when they were talking about, you know, the last fight, and Jason goes, well, were you drunk today?
I know.
Like,
I know.
And when they were talking about like that they had the forgiveness, and then that night everything like changed again. And Jason's like, because we had that conversation and then you sat at the end of the table and did shots the whole night, Danny. Like, what? How do you not see this? I actually think Jason and Lala, like, clear read on Danny. Between the two of them, Jason with a very direct, like, you need to not drink. You should not be drinking. And I did appreciate Lala saying that it was bullshit that people were saying you could drink to him, because I felt the same way during it. That drove me nuts. That drove me insane. I did kind of get what they were saying, where they're like, we just wanted you to like be normal and have fun. But it was confusing. But once again, I want to point out that Danny's like a 40-year-old man. And he's saying he's feeling confused by the way his friends are talking about his drinking. And so he's not sure what he's allowed to do with his drinking. I just want to like clarify what they are actually fighting about. Okay. This is a 40-year-old married father of 4 whining that his friends are being unclear while confronting him about his drinking. They're not being clear enough that he shouldn't drink, and that makes him upset.
And it is so upsetting. It is so upsetting because Jesse said off mic that he was going to be there for him. And Jesse said that if his drinking got out of hand, that he would step in. And Jesse never once stepped in. Instead, what Jesse did is yell at women who were saying, hey, don't like the way that Danny is talking to us. Somebody pointed out, by the way, that that scene in that house when they were all dressing up for the pageant, where Kristen keeps saying that I wasn't there, I didn't hear it, I didn't.
There.
She was in the background. She was in the background. She's in the background, sitting behind Lala, putting a red wig on Luke.
Well, people finally accept that Kristen is a liar. Like,
Thank you. I'm
they'll be like, Kristen Doty. If there's one thing about Kristen Doty, she's always going to tell the truth.
No, which Kristen Doty? Which one? What are you talking about?
Not my Kristen Doty.
The one who swore on her niece, nephew, mother, and dead grandmother's grave that she did not fuck Jax. Lest we forget.
Never forget.
She is not an honest person. She's never been. She shot herself in the foot. She is not a good person. For her to sit there and be like, I can't believe that people were bullying Danny. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. I can't believe that people would. Really, Kristen? You literally, you the person that got the entire internet back when you were on Vanderpump Rules to rage against Faith? You?
You. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Also, like, when I hear people talk about Kristen and Luke and they're like, "Ugh, she just deserves so much better." I'm like, I guess. Like, I don't think she deserves him, but I'm like, what healthy partnership do you envision Kristen Doty in? I don't want her to be with Luke because Luke is scary and awful and hates women. And I do not like Luke, and I would like her to get away from Luke. But at the same time, like, I need people to accept that Kristen Doty is not going to have a good boyfriend.
No, she's
Because
not.
guess what? Like attracts like. And I this is like
Mhm.
every time a bad reality star gets a new boyfriend, everyone's like, I think he's probably great. And I'm always like, no,
No.
we know he's bad because she is bad. And only a
Yeah.
bad person would date them. Like it is over and over and over and over again. We see this, right? And the fans will always be like, oh, they deserve more, they deserve more, they deserve more. And it's like, they don't deserve to be treated like that. Like, I want to be clear. I don't think Kristen deserves to be treated badly by Luke, but I do not understand why people think that there is a reality, this current reality, that Kristen Doty, who says to the camera on television that my therapist has said that we can no longer continue couples therapy because we're too volatile right now and we should work on that at home before we come back to see her. If you in your heart believe that woman is going to have a healthy relationship with a healthy partner, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's never going to happen unless she makes real changes. It could.
And by the way,
it could.
It could
She could change.
But it's also possible that her solution is going to be, you know what, Luke and I decided to have another baby.
Of course it
because
will
maybe
be.
that's going to make it better.
Of course they're going to have another baby. Are you kidding me? Of course. If she can get pregnant, they will, for sure. I bet they're actively not. I bet $100 she's not on birth control.
Oh yeah, she's been on birth control. She's been off of it the whole time. Might actually be the reason why she's not fucking him yet, is because she's like, I don't want to get pregnant right now, and I know that it's going to happen if I let this man come inside of me.
Yeah, maybe. Even like hearing like, yeah, we're having sex more. I'm like, oh God, this is like, I don't know. I was rewatching a season 4 episode today for my podcast of Katie and Tom right after they get engaged, talking and everybody laughing about how they do not have sex and they will not have sex and they do not want to have sex with each other. And it bummed me out so much. I was like, this is making me so sad. And that's kind of how I feel with Kristen and Luke, because here's the thing. I actually was rooting for Kristen and Luke in that I thought Luke was very good at like being attuned to her feelings, right? And I was like, she seems to have found someone that's like willing to cater to this. And if she can find someone to cater to this, cool. I knew it would blow up when there would be a baby, because I was like, well, he's going to have to like cater to the baby and he won't be able to cater to Kristen. What I didn't realize is that he catered to her because he liked to fuck her and they had sex all of the time. Like, I knew they had a lot of sex. Remember, they showed like the dildos. And, like, we know they used to have a lot of sex. So like, it's not that I didn't know that, but I realized it. I thought it would be like his attention was on the baby, but no, turns out he doesn't really give a fuck about that. He doesn't really care about parenting. He can only support Kristen if he's having sex 5 to 8 times a week, probably, is what kind of what the vibe is to me. And that bums me out.
It is a bummer. He's like, I need sex. I got to go on the golf trip with my brother and I got to go fishing with my dad.
I was giving him a real benefit of the doubt. I realized like it was like the second episode of the season. Cause I like went in being like, well, they're not going to be in a good place. Cause I was, you know what? There was just no way Kristen and Luke were going to do well with a baby. There was no way. If you go back and watch season 1, they're having the same exact fights, by the way. They've never decided on where they want to live. They don't agree on parenting stuff. Like, they have never agreed on any of this. Never have, never will. And like, I don't know. I just like I was giving them credit that they didn't deserve, to be honest, for this relationship. And that Kristen is going to stay with him and she will have another baby with him is why I need people to understand that she's not going to have a healthy partnership unless she genuinely decides to like make a serious change. And that will probably have to stop drinking too. But we're not talking about Kristen's drinking as much here. But I've always been, I think Kristen drinks wine out of a coffee mug type of drinker at times in her life.
We can never forget when she chugged that whole glass. I was like, I didn't know throats could do that. That's amazing.
She drinks a lot. And I think that when, you know what I mean? Like, I think there is a version. I do think Kristen can get better. I believe that in my heart for most people. I just am not sure that she will.
No, I'm not sure that she will either. And I think that Luke is... I don't think Kristen is ever going to leave Luke. I think Luke will have to leave. He'll leave her, but she's never going to leave him.
I don't think she's left anyone. That's not her thing.
Oh my God, you're right.
That's not her thing.
Wow.
She doesn't leave people. She's the most anxiously attached person that's ever existed. Like,
truly is.
They leave. She's Vicky Gumbelson laying down in front of the car for Brooks, like begging him not to leave. Like, that's Kirsten Doty.
Vicky. I've had too much Vicky over the last few days.
It's ruined. I'm actually actively upset about it. It's ruining Ultimate Girls Trip for me fully. Like,
she sucks so bad.
She sucks.
Okay, let's go over to Next Gen. Now, with Next Gen, we do need to address this news that came out of Atlanta. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. I sent it to you, so I'm just gonna go over there. All right.
So scary.
It's so sad. You guys remember a couple of years ago, we were like, why is Kim Zolciak's gigantic baby in a car seat? He looks like he's so big. He wasn't. He was like 4 and he was just like oversized. Anyway, one of those kids, Croy Jr., he's called, or KJ, has been accused. He's the older one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's been arrested for aggravated sodomy and sexual battery. He's 15 years old. And essentially the allegation is that he attacked a teenage girl at a co-ed gym in a sauna. And it's really bad. It's really, really bad. Like, if you read the thing, I'm not going to read it. It's really horrible. Kim released a statement being like, he's never done anything to this woman. I was like, well, she's not a woman. She's a child.
Of course she did. Of course she did.
She's a child, and she's like, the only people that are harmed in situations like this, she said, are the people that are accused.
The perfect lunch combo. That first bite of your favorite sub, followed by ice-cold Pepsi. Add a couple of friends, and now that's next level. Suddenly, the laughs get louder, the stories keep flowing, and the food tastes better. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
Did you know Sam's Club isn't a store? It's actually a club. With cool finds and like a whole community. It's a club.
Of course, Jason. It's in the name. Sam's Club.
Oh, yeah. Come join us. Sam's Club.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
At ZocDoc, we know being a healthy adult is like living in a video game. Every day has side quests, taxes, laundry, birthdays, and just when you're leveling up, you have to book a doctor. The insurance portal crashes, they put you on hold, your doctor doesn't take your plan, game over. We see you, so we made booking a doctor easy. Download ZocDoc, search by specialty, insurance, and availability. Book instantly, no cheat codes required. Find a doctor you love with ZocDoc.
I'm Glenn Washington, host of Snap Judgment, the award-winning storytelling podcast from KQED. Every week, Snap deals a new card, like the girl whose sister was a monkey, or the man who lived in the woods for 30 years, or even the woman who snuck her lover out of prison in a dog crate. Pick a card, any card. Tap to listen now to Snap Judgment from KQED on Spotify.
That's something. That is something.
That sounds about right. I was on another podcast earlier and I said, Taylor Frankie Paul, this is your future if you don't get your shit together, which she doesn't intend on ever.
Oh my God,
but
it is.
it's
It is.
so Taylor Frankie Paul. Those two.
So bad.
God.
I don't know if you ever watched It's Always Tardy. I didn't watch it that often, but every once in a while I would.
There was a time when you would turn on Bravo and either you would get Tardy or you would get $1 Million Listing.
Yep, absolutely. And they very specifically with KJ had this thing where he cursed all of the time as like a toddler and a small child, and they thought it was the funniest thing on earth and encouraged it. And I remember being like disgusted by it. Like it was crazy, like fully cursing like I do. Like it was so crazy. And they would laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh about it. And so all I'm saying is that they have been making questionable parenting choices from the beginning with KJ. So I'm like, I don't want to say I'm not shocked that this happened because I am shocked that this happened. But based on like not just what we know about Kim and Kroy, but like what we actually saw on television, I'm not that shocked that some of their children are bad.
Yeah, they have bad children. That sounds about right.
And it's scary. Apparently he's 6'2" and 250 pounds.
He's a gigantic
He's a football player. Like it's so scary. It's so scary. I don't mean to laugh. I just like, it's so shocking. It's as bad as it can get, essentially, right? Like that, and that's you can't hear something worse about someone, really.
Yeah, and for a
child,
little girl. She's a little
girl, and also he's a child.
Mm-hmm.
Like to think that there is a 15-year-old boy. Like I know that boys do that, but do you know what I mean? Like there's something deeply disturbing about a 15-year-old already being that bad and that scary. Like what has his life been?
No, 100%, because I like 15. I could have had a 15-year-old. I have a 12-year-old, so I could have also had a 15-year-old. That would have been in the realm of my existence as an adult woman, is to at this point have a 15-year-old child. That's a baby. Like it's so scary and it's so sad. And naturally, Kim is doing what we expect somebody like him to do. Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know. I hope he goes away. That is that's dangerous. Like I think it's, for me, what's wigging me out so much is like, that is a stranger attack. This is not a boy that's crossing boundaries. Not that that's excusable either, but something about like the brutality of it and the public plate, like I'm like, lock him up. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that is antisocial behavior on a level that I am like deeply, deeply disturbed.
Yep. Blech. Yeah. And and to that I say, Ariana, maybe don't go visit Atlanta anymore.
Maybe don't go visit Atlanta anymore.
There's nothing good coming out of there. All you had was your parents and Hudson, and we can't be going back there. This is bad.
Mm-hmm.
This week on Next Gen, it was a Thanksgiving episode. We got Ava moved into her new apartment. Gia threw a Friendsgiving. Ariana and Liam fucked, while Charlie continued to flirt with Ariana for the plot. And after Candy and Todd called it quits, we saw how Riley dealt with it. So there was, by the way, this has nothing to do with anything. It's just like a production thing that drives me crazy about Next Gen. Next Gen is a show that requires me to not be on my phone at all because so much of it is in text. Like they're like,
that is true.
Like I was like, a group chat, who's in it, what? But then
that's true.
There was this thing in the middle where they did like an interstitial, like a middle portion where Amira like did this like Gossip Girl, like lady whistle down type like narration where she was like, Gia went to this and then I did that and Liam went here, and I was like,
it was Thanksgiving. They were narrating what everyone did for Thanksgiving.
I was like, is this important? I don't think it's that important.
Yeah, Ronan went to Brooke's home in Palm Beach. Shai was in London. Yeah, they like went through the whole thing, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. I
wasn't really wondering.
Yeah, and again, I think that the show is really great when it's a group setting. I don't care to see one-on-ones unless it's like Riley and Ariana or Riley and Gia. But like it's at least then it has something to do with something. But like I don't care for the one-on-ones here. I want to see every scene should be a group scene.
I
All of
agree with
them.
that. I want to give Riley credit for this episode. I think Riley really dropped back into the show. This
Yeah.
felt like the first, I mean, last, like the BravoCon a little bit, right? Like she was getting
Yeah.
a little more into it, but it feels like this episode, I don't know, maybe the divorce news coming out, she was just like, I got it. Like it's out there. I wonder if maybe that, I mean, obviously her home life was part of like what was going on, but I actually wonder if maybe the stress of it coming out
Yes.
was part of
Yes.
it. Like not necessarily the divorce, but like anticipating that she was going to have to live the divorce out on camera. Like, I kind of wonder if that was stressful. And then that actually happening made it less stressful, like when the band-aid has been
Yeah.
ripped and she can just like be open. And like, I one appreciated Ariana being like, I feel like you don't want me to ask about this, but I have to ask about this. I thought
Yeah.
that was a good way to do it. I thought that Riley was a lot more open and vulnerable than I expected her to be about this topic. And I don't know, it felt like finally she was filming a show and like part of a group that was on a show, which she had not been yet this season, really.
Yeah. And if you think about it, the Rocky Horror Picture Show episode is when after that, I think, is when Riley gets like drunk and
Mhm.
ends up, or like
Or
but
no,
it's
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 around
before
there.
that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
before
But
that,
it's
but it's around there.
October.
Yep.
It's October. And then this is Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So it's like it's a month has passed. And so it's possible that Candy had already started talking to Riley about her and Todd breaking up. Like I can't imagine that Candy and Todd
Mhm.
were like totally fine in October, right? It's possible that at that point they were
We
already
know they weren't.
separating.
Something had
Oh yeah.
happened that summer because I
Oh yeah, they were.
remember Candy
Yes.
came out and said like something happened in July. Wasn't that the thing that like something
Yeah.
specific happened in July? So yeah, I bet that is it. And then she's like already in her head about filming, already insecure, already an introvert. Already, I kind of wonder if also part of like being on the show was like, I'm taking back control. This is my narrative. I'm going to talk about
Yeah.
myself. And then yet again,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
about Candy, right? Like her whole fucking life. And I can imagine her being very, very in her head about that. And
Yes.
she seems a little lighter now. And I want to like, cause I've been pretty critical of her on the show this season, especially. And so
Yeah.
I want to like give credit that it feels like this is her in back with the show. And I hope that she like continues talking this way and continues hanging out with people. I'm a little worried about that. But yeah, I thought she did really good in this episode. And I appreciated the way that she talked about like what it's like, the way that you learn to detach from your life when
Mhm.
people know about it. I thought that was
Mhm.
really interesting, where they were both like, yeah, I mean, you just kind of get used to it and then you don't feel it anymore.
Oof.
Rah!
Oof. Oof.
Very,
Ugh.
It's Always Sunny. You guys still have feelings? Remember this?
Yeah.
Like bury that. When she said that, I was like,
It was so sad. And then you're like, and also if you think about it, she started the beginning of the season. She was like, I have a boyfriend. I want to be a DJ. I want to do all these things. And then suddenly she gets like hammered. She fights with Georgia. And then she's off the show for a little bit because she's like, I'm going to, and everybody's talking about it online. And then
mhm.
she's like, I'm going back home to Atlanta. I'll be back when things are better. And then we only saw her come back during the BravoCon stuff. So it's
Yeah.
very much possible that she was like, fuck this fucking show. My
Uh-huh.
God.
Uh-huh.
It's
I think she stopped filming for a little bit, like, and was
yeah.
uninterested in filming. The one thing I need from her is to just forgive Georgia. And like, I think actually her worst feature on the show is the grudge holding, because
Mhm.
like she won't even be civil. And it's like
Mhm.
that if you want to do that in real life, like that's fine, like that's your
Yep.
prerogative. But for this for a reality television show, I cannot stand when someone like won't interact with someone. And I
Yep.
actually like understand why Georgia and Charlie like keep interacting, because they're on a fucking show together. And
Yep.
it's impossible to be at a table with 8 people and just completely ignore some of them. You know what I mean? Like it's just not realistic. And Riley does it not well. Like, I don't think like it doesn't come across well when she does it. I don't like when she does it, and I hope that maybe she can like let go of that a little bit. And it's like, I don't need you to like Georgia. I just want you to laugh around Georgia. Like when she does that thing when people try and tell her a joke and she just goes
Yeah.
Like, that drives me nuts. Like, just laugh a little bit.
Yeah. And you know what? I do think that she's kind of coming around to it because where was it? Was it this episode where Georgia goes to the bathroom and she's like, "Let me use a bunch of soap because otherwise it's going to be national
She was
news that
doing, the charcuterie board.
the
She was,
charcuterie
like,
board." Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I think that everybody's sort of like cooling down on that part of it a little bit because they think they're
Mhm.
like talking about how dirty Georgia isn't pointless because we already know. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everyone knows she's gross. Okay. It is what it is. She's our gross coworker. Have you never worked with a gross coworker before? That's it. Don't eat
Yeah.
anything out of their hands. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is. I as a resident, Gia shouldn't be on this episode on this television show Truther. What did you think about the entire crew having to go to Jersey City for this Friendsgiving?
So, as always, that's insane. That's insane. That's insane. Why would we ever go to New Jersey? I actually have zero problem with Jersey City in real life, guys. I actually think that's a great idea for Gia to live there. It makes total sense.
Yeah.
I will say credit where it's due. The party looked nice. All things
Lovely.
considered, like she
Lovely.
has better taste than Teresa, I think. Like it all looked a little less tacky than Teresa's usually does.
Yeah.
And I, as a Gia hater, I actually think this was one of her better episodes because she hosted well. And well, one, I will always like when we go to the Judices and they're like for real cooking and like putting
Yeah.
shit together. Like I always
Yeah.
do kind of like
I
that. You know what I
know, I
mean?
know.
Like he did it. Like I
Yeah.
don't know. I do appreciate that element I have of Teresa since season 1 where she was like, no, of course I don't have a nanny or any help. I do this all myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you do. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I believe you.
Yeah.
Like you are doing it. And I do like that element of them a little bit. So it's nice to see that. And also with Riley, right? Like it's nice in these moments, it's nice for her because she is the most famous out of all of them.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
has had the craziest like exposure, right? Even more than like
Yeah.
him and Cry. Like she has had the craziest experience. We all accept that she's the one that's been the most involved with all of the shows. Like, so it does make sense for her in those moments, but like, why are we going to New Jersey? Nobody, they don't want to go. They bitched about going to Brooklyn, and I'm supposed to believe they're all going to Jersey City.
It's so
That's crazy.
funny. It was and I don't know. This is a week of Thanksgiving, probably, right? Traffic hellacious at that time. What do you mean that they're going to Jersey City? That sounds terrible. It sounds terrible. They were happy that they were like, all right, well, at least like it's big. So like we'll at least get like a place to sit and eat nicely, So
I think
that
that
was nice.
really, I think that was the thought. She has enough room, but it's like, let the show rent you a room somewhere. Like,
Also, there were so many people in that Friendsgiving. I was like, who are they? Are these extras? Where do they come from?
I think she has a lot of friends. I think she is like that person that probably has a lot of friends, and I bet all of her friends still live in New Jersey. You know what? Like they're all living there. Like I don't have to tell you. Like you know that.
I do know that.
Am I wrong?
I do. No, you're not. I also, but like there were so many people like that Kendall girl. She keeps showing up to film, and I'm like,
I'm
sweet,
confused about her. We have
sweet
so
summer
many
child.
people. Do we need Kendall talking heads?
What is she doing there?
I don't dislike her, but I'm like, I'm having trouble keeping track of the regular cast, and now we're adding people halfway through the season. What?
Like, let's go back to Brooke Shields' daughter. Why? Who is And they're like, Kendall's just Liam's friend who shows up. Okay, well, Liam's barely on the show too.
Who's Liam? You know, like he gets a +1. We don't even know him.
It was so funny. Okay, so obviously the big thing that happened this episode is that Liam and Ariana are like fully together. But before we get to that, we had this like scene with like Shy and Brooks at Friendsgiving where they like go out and have words. And it was just so funny because they go out and they talk and then they come in and they're like, we talked. And Shy goes, nobody notices or cares. Like, because I was like, yeah. Because this is such a weird beef. What is this?
Shy. I love where Shy was like, I just don't understand what's going on. He's like, but what happened? He's like, I don't get it. Like, we didn't have any beef, and then suddenly you didn't like me because I am friends with Charlie, but you're sitting next to Charlie tonight. Like, what's happening? He's like, Ariana's fucking Charlie. Like, why aren't I allowed to be friends with Charlie? Why are you mad at me for this?
And the thing is, Brooks is like, yeah, you're
I
right.
don't know.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I mean, I was just like trying to be direct, but now I'm seeing that like I wasn't so direct.
Yeah, and Brooks says something like, well, now I realize that like Shy really wants my approval, so I'll keep him around. I'm like, Brooks, you're not as powerful as you think.
It's
Sir.
so gross. It's so funny because from what we know, Shy is also a rich kid, but like it's such an example of like you can be a rich kid and still know how to like live in this fucking world. And Brooks is like a newborn baby in a way that I don't find fun.
No.
Like it's not endearing to me. Like the Georgia of it all, walking around with the MacBook instead of her phone, like that's fun and funny.
Hilarious.
But like Brooks being like, it's like he has no curiosity about the world. Brooks does not have is never been curious about a single thing in his life. I'm not sure he's ever Googled anything. He simply is uninterested in anything, yet thinks he's incredibly interesting. And that is the worst combination in a person, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. He was like, I was excited to see his sourdough turkeys. Those looked really good. I was like, that's impressive.
Well, because I think Brooks is like a normal person. You know what I mean? Like I bet in real life, like you're like, oh my God, look at these. And you're like dancing around the little sourdough turkey. And then you like have a little laugh, you give him a kiss on the cheek and you skip out of the room. Like he's probably perfectly fine. Like there's nothing actually like deeply wrong with him, but it's like, you're not a deep or smart or funny or quick or confident person. So what would I want to watch from you on my television?
Yeah. Why are you here? There's
Why are you
literally
here?
no reason. There's no reason. They go around the table. They do like a say something nice about thing. And it's so funny because Amira gets Kendall and she's like, you know, I mean, even Amira is like, who the fuck is Kendall? I have no
She's
idea
like,
who that
is she on the show? Did they give her a mic? I didn't see that on the call list.
Does she work in production? Who is this?
Is that Gia's friend? Gia's friend from home? Who's Liam?
And like I loved Rowan being like, this is really forced. I don't want to do this and it feels really dumb. And I was like, yeah, it is. Because it's a stupid
I actually
thing.
thought that was funny that they did that and kept it in because the housewives have been doing those games so much more. And I actually thought it was such a good example of like how stupid a lot of the games are and like and like that they are like inherently stupid to do. So for the kids to be like, this is really stupid. Like I appreciated that.
I loved it. I loved it. Well, it's after before Friendsgiving. It's very exciting because Liam and Ariana both are signed up for carrots, and Hudson finds out, and Hudson's like, "Oh, I don't care about carrots. I don't care who makes carrots with my girl." Da 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 da. All this stuff. He says this thing in the confessional about he's not worried about Charlie being friends with Ariana because he knows Charlie's going to try to fuck Ariana, but Charlie's a bad person. So he knows that Ariana's not going to fuck Charlie. And I was like, well.
First of all, I loved when Charlie, I don't even know what to say about him. But when he goes, I mean, obviously Hudson knows she wants to fuck me. He's known she's wanted to fuck me since she first saw me. I mean, he's known her for a long time. He knows her well. Like, he is so gross, but there is also something fascinating hearing him just speak so frankly because what he is saying is the truth. Where he's like, yeah, no, Ariana's wanted me to fuck me since the first time we met. Correct. We all saw that. Like, correct. Ariana is clearly into him. Correct. Ariana going over his house at 1:30 a.m., just the two of them means that she's into him. Like, everything he says is right. It's just so fucking sleazy, but like hearing it every once in a while, I'm just like bowled over by his confession, like his villainous casual confessions. Like, yeah, of course Hudson knows I want to fuck her. And then Hudson just being like, well, no, like it's fine that, like, no, I knew he would try and fuck her. He's the worst person I've ever met. Like, like it's okay that we've gotten close. Like that has nothing to do with this. Like,
it's so funny. It's like you think that you're friends with this horrible person and you have the upper hand because you know that they're horrible, but actually they have the upper hand because they're a piece of shit and they still get access to you.
Yep.
You
And
idiot.
Hudson's just a loser with money. He's probably not a total piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's a loser, like, and he gives me the
Yeah.
ick, but like he's not a Charlie, right? Like,
No,
he's just like a regular, he's an average loser rich kid where Charlie is like a supervillain, and he doesn't get that. It's really funny. I've been seeing a lot of criticism for the show Sterling Point and about how there's like no parents around. And I keep being like, in summer towns, there are boring rich kids who find locals who do drugs and they become friends. And the poor locals get to do a ton of cool shit because rich kids are boring but have access to cool shit. And what you are seeing is Hudson and Charlie. I mean, Charlie's a little different, but like, where there is a kind of boring rich kid that wants to be cool, you will find the Charlies around them because they find the Hudsons because then they get to do the cool shit via Hudson's money. Like it's a tale as old as time because Charlie doesn't have money like of his own. I think he grew up rich, but it doesn't seem like he has a ton of access to funds currently.
No, I think he probably lives in an apartment that is paid for. He doesn't look like he's the kind of person that has like a stocked fridge. I feel like we've been to his place a few times and it's like folding chairs. Like it's not like a place to live. So even
he probably
like
has a
Ariana,
trust to like live on, but not enough to like ball out on. You know what I mean? Like he probably gets like $6,000 a month or something, which all of us would kill for, but that's like enough to live on his own in a studio apartment and like, or one bedroom and like pay for his food and like his Ubers, but like beyond that, like remember when Riley like threw her phone into the water and was like, I'll give $1,000 to whoever gets it, and Charlie dove in immediately. I was like, oh, he doesn't have money. Oh, okay. And like what we're seeing with Hudson is Charlie being like, oh, easy mark. Let's go. You wanna have fun, Hudson? I'll show you fun. And I bet they have a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So Liam and Ariana show up and they're kissing and everybody's like, oh my God, they're still together. But then Ariana gets Charlie during this like go around the table and say something nice. And she gives like a wedding speech. She's like,
everybody being like, Ariana, what are you doing? What Gia's confessional being like, not in front of Liam. I was really laughing. That was
okay, but also Gia, shut the fuck up because you are so male centered. She could say what she could go and suck Charlie's dick right now in front of Liam if she wanted to. Okay, there's nothing there. Whatever. Like, oh my God, don't say that in front of the boy that you like. No, she should. She should do whatever she wants. She's like 23 years old. Please, for the love of God, Gia is such a grandma. I cannot.
You know, I support Ariana fucking Charlie once or twice. Yes. I think like we just heard about KJ. Listen to what we just heard about KJ. If Ariana fucking Charlie is the worst thing that she does, like she made it out of that family, you know, pretty unscathed, all things considered. Like she is a hot young person who is attracted to a bad boy and like she's gonna fuck him. But it was crazy to say that in front of Liam. It was crazy. Like not necessarily because like it was so nice to Charlie, but the way it made everyone else so uncomfortable. And like everyone else was like, whoa, because they've already, you know what I mean? Everybody had already been talking all week about it and like suspecting. And so for her to do that, but also it like made me love her because I'm like, you are just like a messy, beautiful 25-year-old. Like live your life, baby gorgeous. Like I love this for you, you messy little bitch. Like I hope she fucks everyone, first of all. And I was happy when she said that Liam had a big dick and that he was good in bed. I said, good for you, Ariana.
Good for you.
Good for you. But like when it like I was like, that is so crazy. I can only imagine when she watched that back.
The perfect lunch combo. That first bite of your favorite sub, followed by ice cold Pepsi. Add a couple of friends, and now that's next level. Suddenly, the laughs get louder, the stories keep flowing, and the food tastes better. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
Amazon Health AI presents Painful Thoughts.
Why did I search the internet for answers to my cold sore problem? Now I'm stuck down a rabbit hole filled with images of alarmingly graphic sores in various stages of ooze. I can clear my search history, but I can never unsee that.
Don't go down the rabbit hole. Amazon Health AI gets you the right care, fast. Healthcare just got less painful.
At ZocDoc, we know being a healthy adult is like living in a video game. Every day has side quests, taxes, laundry, birthdays, and just when you're leveling up, you have to book a doctor. The insurance portal crashes, they put you on hold, your doctor doesn't take your plan, game over. We see you, so we made booking a doctor easy. Download ZocDoc, search by specialty, insurance, and availability. Book instantly, no cheat codes required. Find a doctor you love with ZocDoc.
I see you.
Avatar: Fire and Ash is now streaming on Disney Plus. It's the film critics are calling the best Avatar yet.
Yeah! Go, 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 go!
A true epic and completely jaw-dropping.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
Return to Pandora on Disney Plus.
It will be an adventure for the whole fam.
And watch the Oscar-winning phenomenon at home.
This is sick!
Avatar: Fire and Ash, now streaming on Disney Plus. Rated PG-13.
And then she just kept being like, I haven't drank in 6 months. So
Oh,
this is the
right.
first
It was
time I'm
the
drinking.
I forgot. She had been on probation. It was the first time that she had drank.
I was like,
Oh my God. Oh my God. She must have. Imagine watching that back.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. But she goes to the bathroom and she's like talking to like Ava and Riley about Charlie and about, but basically the relationship with her and Charlie is that whenever they're together, Charlie says over the top things. Like he's like, you want me to fuck you? Can I finger you? Can I go down on you? You want me to eat your pussy? Like he says shit like that. And instead of her being like, ew, that's disgusting. She's like,
she
"Oh
goes,
my God."
ew, that's disgusting.
Oh, Charlie, no.
You have two options to that. You have, ew, that's disgusting, or ew, that's disgusting. Those are the only two possible reactions.
Yeah. You either say stop it or you say stop it. And I think that's what she's doing. I think
that's so fucking real. That is the realest early 20s. Like,
that's so funny. That's what
God,
she's like.
that's so funny.
That's when they're like, "Oh my God, why did you switch seats with Charlie and sit in the back of the plane with him?" She's like,
by the way, I would have done that when I was in my early 20s. I really was like embarrassingly. I have actually. This embarrasses me so much because I would be Ariana in this situation.
Yeah.
Like there's a
Same.
nice guy that wants to have sex with me and like buys me flowers. And then there's this idiot that talks about wanting to finger me in front of other people. And I'm
You're
like,
like,
sure, we can ride in the
yeah.
back together. You want to finger me on the plane? Like, that was me, like truly. So I just like see Ariana very clearly, if you will. And like, Liam seems like perfectly fine and nice, but it's really embarrassing me to watch Ariana try and make herself like him because it's like Liam is a good guy and will find I actually think I love that he's friends with Kendall and like seems to be friends with
Mhm.
women, and I think he seems very nice and like normal, but Ariana does not want that right now, and it would be also like she doesn't need a boyfriend. I think it's also the
Mhm.
other thing that it's like if I get with this guy, I think you were saying this on my podcast, like
Yeah.
that we're like he sent me flowers, like this is like serious dating territory, and she
Yeah.
doesn't want that. And it's like watching her like try and make herself want that is tough for me. Been there, been there. Where you're like,
Also-
this good guy wants me, and you're like, but at 1:30 a.m. I'm gonna go fuck Charlie because that's
Yeah.
fucking fun.
I am certain that Charlie has a single mattress on his floor. Like that's
One-
that
no
is
sheet.
his.
No
that is
sheet.
this.
Maybe
That
a
is
blow up.
maybe
honestly.
a blow up air mattress.
Maybe a
on the
mattress never
floor.
made it. Maybe a mattress never made it to his home. Then he just got an air mattress.
And he is putting her through it. And she's like, you know what?
Yes,
this is
daddy.
great. Yeah. She's like, but I think that there is something really exciting to her at this age. Like we talked about this on your podcast. Yeah. Like there's something very exciting about being in your early 20s, being out of a long-term relationship and getting railed. Okay.
And getting famous at the same time. And like also like her and Charlie are like on this come up together. They're the two
Yeah.
stars of the show. Let's be
Let's be
right?
honest.
Like they
Mhm.
are the breakout stars. They're the two that like, I mean, Georgia too, but like I feel like out of season 1, Ariana and Charlie are the ones who like life has
Yep.
changed. You're famous
Yeah.
now as opposed to like the rest of them. And so I think like I could see them like coming back after a press thing where like the two of them, everybody's complimenting them and they're just like running home and fucking. Like, do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Just like on the high of like what they're doing. Like, it's
Yeah.
probably so fun to like be on this show and like be at BravoCon and everybody's obsessed with you and you're winning this award. And then Charlie wants to finger you. And it's like, this is so fun in a way that Liam doesn't give her.
No, he doesn't. I also think like for Ariana, there's probably the sensible, logical friends in her life are probably like, listen, Charlie only wants to fuck you because like you're obviously the biggest star out of here. You were in a BravoCon commercial. You are the star of this television show. You are Bravo royalty, whatever. Like he's a deadbeat, whatever. Like he just wants to fuck you. He's just trying to use you. But there is like at that age, you're like, yeah, but I'm the prize. So I get to be the one in power. So I'm the one, if I choose to fuck him, then I am the better person here. And I get to make that choice. There's like an autonomy there. And
I'm
feel
the friend that's like, totally, you should totally do that.
Yeah. And you have that one friend that's
your
like,
logic totally tracking with me. Girl, I'm always, as long as you're honest with yourself, girl, like go have fun.
Yeah,
I won't let
exactly.
you lie, but go have fun.
And then you have people like Ava or Gia who are like, no, you need to make good decisions, whatever. Like you have to, that Riley is like, if Charlie wasn't a little bit racist, I would probably be okay with you fucking him. But the problem is that Charlie has said microaggressive shit and he is probably a transphobe and he's very problematic that I don't want you to fuck him. But if he didn't have those views, girl, I would have let you do whatever you want. Like I know that's probably what she's thinking.
Myra's like that too, I bet. Like I can see certain ones, but you're right. Ava and Gia.
Yeah. Ava and Gia are like, no, don't do that. You're too good for that. Don't do that. And it's like, no, just do it. Who cares? Who cares?
Ariana,
live your best life.
Who cares? Like you can only fuck him about 7 times over the course of 2 years. Like it can't really be more than that. Like, and he can be somebody that you sleep with over the course of several years, a Kristen and Jax, if you will, who I believe that they probably have had sex like once every 1 to 2 years for the last 10 years. That's like,
yes.
my personal thought on Kristen and Jax. And like, I can see, like, I've had situations like that where like you kind of hate the person, but like you're in this, like, you have somehow like found yourself in this thing. And every once in a while, it's like, should we fuck? And you hang out with them other times. Like you're with them other times. And you don't have sex most of the time, but every once in a while you guys are drunk and you're having fun. You're like, should we fuck? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Wow. It's like you peered into my mind from the age of like 17 to 21.
I miss being a young girl. Now it's the apps and I don't drink anymore. Do you know how fucking hard it is to do when you don't drink?
I know. I hear.
I hear someone's
terrible.
like, just go to the bar. You don't have to go in the apps. Go to the bar. I go, I can't go. I don't drink and I don't like to be around drunk people. They're fine.
Oh God. And you know, the other thing about Charlie and Ariana is like, if Ariana goes, if she invites Charlie over and they fuck, Charlie immediately, he is nutting, he is getting up, he is using the bathroom and he is leaving. And she's like, oh,
so I'm ordering an Uber. Is that cool?
Yeah. And
she comes out of the bathroom and he's like, so what are you doing tomorrow? And she's like, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
there's no illusion of a relationship there.
No, none. And I think that is probably something that is so exciting to her and something that is so exciting in your 20s. And I know that Charlie is a bad person, you guys. Let's just go ahead and say he is not a good man.
No.
But in terms of Ariana living her best life, she is going to have to, you got to fuck a few Charlies in your life. In your 20s,
he's Jax.
Okay?
He's Jax Taylor. He's Jax Taylor, but younger and grew up with more advantages. So he's more scary than Jax. But like, you fuck those guys in your early 20s when your life looks like Ariana's. Like that's just what you do. You don't go from Hudson to Liam, unfortunately for Liam.
Yeah.
And that sucks. And also, not for nothing, I can see a world in which maybe Ariana and Liam next year or 2 years from now circle back. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I think like she would never be into them or they would never work together. It's not that, but it's it would be crazy for her to bog herself down in another serious relationship when she finally leaves this guy and she's getting famous at the same time. Why would you get a boyfriend?
A boyfriend? Ew. Get out of here.
Fuck everyone. Don't get another boyfriend. Go be a fucking star. You're a star, baby. Go to LA and have fun.
Yeah, go climb up on Jesse from Summer House if you need to. Just go.
Oh my God, go to the Hamptons and fuck Jesse Solomon. Yes. Yes, that's exactly what you should be doing when you have exited your high school relationship and you're famous.
Yeah, go to the summer house. Kyle is single. Don't fuck Kyle. Because
Don't
that's
fuck
going to be
Kyle.
that's
No,
very
no, 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 no,
depressing.
no.
That's
Maybe
depressing.
KJ. You could fuck KJ.
You could fuck KJ. You could even fuck Carl.
You could even fuck Carl. Just go fuck someone, baby. Like,
But try not to have sex with the guys from Southern Charm.
oh, off limits.
No, that's
I got a
no.
TikTok of Craig running the other day.
Oh my God, I saw it too.
I realized I need to make some changes, and I was not being the best me. The comments were really making me laugh. Although one of them was like, I actually like Paige less now after seeing this. Because like she stayed with him for so long. And I was like, yeah, now you're seeing what some of us are screaming the whole time is that as much as we like Paige, we know in our head you can't actually be cool and date Craig.
Yeah, Paige is a woman who carries water for the patriarchy. So
I mean, you can't be cool and date Craig or this new Joe guy, really, from what I can tell. So.
Okay, the new Joe guy.
Teresa Giudice. Small.
Wait, what? Hold on, Joe D'Amelio.
He's like super rich. His dad is like in something. He's from New Jersey, and apparently they hooked up before. So I do love that.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Good for you. You know what?
In theory, we could do a hookup tree from Teresa. Well, not Gia, because she has a boyfriend for so long. But I'm like, in theory, we could maybe do a hookup tree from Teresa back to Gia with this link.
Oh my God, back in like 2020, she's just like in the comments talking to this guy. Oh
like
my
25.
God. And you know what? Take a note from Teresa. She was freshly single and she was like, hot Italian guy with a PJ, young.
Hello. And then she tied herself down to Lewis, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever his name is. Yuck. I love these kids. I'm so happy for Ariana. It was really what I also love about this show is that they break the fourth wall all the time. Like there was that scene where they're like laying in bed, Liam and Ariana, and then Liam is like, "Hi guys."
Yeah. It works. It works because I think that like Gen Z can't not break the fourth wall. Because they're front-facing camera people. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that if you want Gen Z to watch, they have to be front-facing camera shows, essentially.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping they'll find Next Gen NYC, like they kind of did Secret Lives, right? And I think that's why Secret Lives worked, because like they figured out how to get enough of the fourth wall broken to make it kind of like watching a TikTok. In a way, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah, it
like
does.
that's kind of what they're doing on Next Gen as well. And you know, as a teen mom head, like I'm like break every fourth wall. I am like, I want to see all of the sausage made, every single thing of it. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I'm like more fourth wall breaking. Anytime anyone's like, it shouldn't be broken that much, I'm like, further. Let's go further. But I think they're doing a good job with it on this show.
Yeah.
Like, because a lot of people don't love it, that they do have to, you know what I mean? Like they do have to walk the line. And yeah, that's fun when they're in the bed, but it's like they still film like a regular reality TV show and it works.
Yeah, it does. I honestly can't even remember what the preview was for next week. Oh, they're going on a ski trip, I guess.
Oh, right. That's fun. Probably to Vermont or something.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I will say I like this show and The Valley both have a lot of like just the cast in like one room without a lot of other people around. And I'm like, we need more out to dinner scenes. We need like on The Valley, there were a bunch of like those parties where it was just them, where I'm like, I feel like this conversation, if there were people in the background in a restaurant, I would be enjoying it more. And I do think Next Gen is doing, I think it's Bravo being cheap, honestly, is what it is. It's like just so much cheaper if they're just in a fucking room, right? Like they're in a room in someone's house and they don't like have to deal with anything else. It's easier to edit, blah, blah, blah. But I do want to see them moving out and about even more. Like we're in New York, like out and about as much as possible, in my opinion. And they're doing like an okay job, but I think we could step it up.
Yeah, I think like the one time that we really saw them out in places was that Halloween, around the Halloween time. And I wonder if they changed it up because that's when the Riley, Georgia thing happened, and then it was all over TikTok that was going on. So I wonder if that was them being like,
That's a good
okay,
point.
no more. We
Spoilers.
can't do it because also people are annoying. They're
People
so
are
annoying.
They
If
probably
you
try and get in filming. Yeah,
Ugh.
no, there's music that you can't control. There's like, I
Yeah.
get you have to rent out the space, you have to clear it with everybody. Like, then when you're editing, you have to make sure that nobody who didn't sign a release is in the background. Like, it's a
Yeah.
lot more work than just having 15 people that are already on your payroll in one room
Yeah.
where you can have every bright light that's ever existed on. You can actually add lights to the you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can create they're creating sets essentially. And
Yeah.
I can understand that, but I don't want them to lean so far into that because I think it takes away from the soul of the show. Like, it
Yeah.
makes it feel a little soulless when they do that. And the Valley was struggling with that at the beginning of the season. And I feel like once they were like in Mexico, you know what I mean? Like, once they moved
Yeah.
away from that, it got so much better. And I hope that the Valley, like, I want to see more outside walking around scenes. Like, there was a scene earlier this season where they were outside walking around eating pizza. And I was like, I want more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to see you in your regular life a little
Mhm.
bit and like in even groups. I mean, one of the best episodes was last year when they all went to like Mexican food together. I think was it like a Mexican girls' night out at El Coyote? And that's when
Right.
Janet got drunk and started screaming at Nia. And I was like,
Right.
oh, okay. Yeah. I
Yep.
need more of that.
Yep.
I would like to see more of that. I would like
Because
to
it's
see
like
more people
variables.
out.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
which is annoying for production, but as far as like creating drama, usually those extra variables make the scene more enjoyable for us. Like, I liked it when they panned people in the background who are like that
I
adds a lot to the show, and you miss it when it's not there.
I miss the background faces. The extras in the
Mhm.
background are some of my
The
favorite things on reality
servers,
TV.
like,
Yeah.
I love them. I
Yeah,
love
they
them, and I don't want to see it lost, you know?
Yeah, it does. I think it does bring a warmth to the television show because otherwise they are just in a conference room at a Howard Johnson, just like eating
Mhm.
meals and like playing dumb games.
By the way, speaking of Taylor Frankie Paul, I'm her in court right now. Like, when she was sitting like
Oh.
this in court with her legs like fully in the Zoom camera, like,
I'm sorry I threw a stool at my son.
like, I remember being like, I should not know what pants you're wearing, bitch. You're in court.
But you
Why
know
why
what?
do I know you have sweatpants on?
As a hypermobile girl who like needs to sit with my feet up all the time, I get it.
Literally sitting like with my
I-
legs in
I
yoga pose right
literally-
now.
No, I cannot have my feet down. I can't do it. I
Uh-huh.
will scrunch myself into the smallest ball possible,
I
even on a
have
plane.
under my desk, I have a stool so like that my feet can like be up and like I can't. Yeah. Mhm.
I get it. But maybe not at court when I would
Maybe
be at court
not
for
at
crimes.
court. Maybe not.
This was amazing. I could
So
probably
fun.
talk to you for so much longer. Okay, Liz, tell everybody what you got going on, where they can listen to everything, where they can follow your incredible takes on Threads.
Of course, you can find me on Threads or Instagram at Liz Explains. And I have a podcast of the same name. It's on patreon.com/Liz Explains. It's all behind a paywall. You can get just a weekly episode, or you can do a weekly episode, and then I could do 2 Vanderpump Rules recaps a month. We're in season 4 right now, and I'm calling it my no rules recap now, which is I just skip episodes if they're boring because we're in season 4, so we start to get boring episodes. So like I put one out today where we went to Hawaii, so fun. And it's like I'm doing like my favorite Vanderpump Rules, and
I love that.
It's like I love when you can watch reality TV and like pass and just like I don't want to talk about that. That was boring and just skip right over it.
It's the best. I hate a filler episode of
I hate
reality
a filler.
TV. I'm
And
like,
these seasons of Vanderpump Rules have like 25 episodes in them. Like they
Yeah.
are like because that's like height of Vanderpump Rules popularity. So they have so many episodes, and some
Yeah.
of them are so bad. And I was like, let's just skip them. Like no
That's so
rules
smart.
here.
That's so smart. I was doing a House of the Dragon recap on my Patreon, and then we just like stopped after episode 3 because I was like, this is so boring. We're gonna come back to this when the season's over and we'll do a season recap. Because
Yep.
the last 4 episodes of that season, I was like, what did I watch just now? Nothing
Yep.
happened.
And
Nothing of
it's
consequence.
It's so fun then when you get to talk about it and it's actually good. And then
Yeah,
stuff to talk about.
exactly. Exactly. Well, that was amazing. I will put all of that information in the show notes for everybody to go and check out. Definitely go and check it out because I was on it and we talked for like 2 hours about Next Gen. About Next Gen. Yeah. So if you want to hear more about thoughts on Next Gen, you can go over there and check that out. I'll be back later to talk about probably whatever new hellscape is out there. Lord knows. I don't know. There's a bunch of men trying to infiltrate the WNBA. I haven't talked about the Wicker trailer yet. I'll probably do a Big Brother episode, but go and check that out. And thank you as always for listening. And Liz, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Bye.